the real shit talkers. It's Matt. All right. And I know you're like, wow, Jack really changed. He really became a fucking beast, but he didn't.
Jack started lifting.
Yeah, Jack ain't lifting. All right, he's not doing what my man is doing over here. If you remember from older episodes, it's your boy Cris.
What's going on?
He's here, aka Thanos.
Appreciate that. Thick boy, thick lord.
Thick lord, you know. And next to me, state your name, bro.
Kelvin, Cologne. Nice to meet y'all.
Santo Domingo.
Good to be here. Plátano, mango.
I'm gonna send you the link right now, so I can.
So yeah, we're throwing this out to everybody.
Copy link. Just copy the link.
Excuse me, I hate being on my phone. It's really rude, but we're doing it.
This is the age we live in, man.
What you gonna do?
It's the age you live in.
If they don't like it.
Oh man, I'm really enthralled by you.
Thank you. Yeah, as soon as I get that, I will
pass. To Shit Talkers, I hope you guys had a good, whatever. Last week we had a show, but we canceled that. Like, we took it right off. Like, so if you've seen it, you probably heard the production of it. The sound was really off. So we was like, you know what? We're not gonna have people's ears bleeding on the audio, so we just decided to cut the video altogether. But I got to hang out with Marv, our producer, and he got to be able to do his producer thing right here at the table. But a lot of cool stuff we talked about, but it got cut. So, again, we're gonna have Marv again on another day. But today I called out the back signal. I just threw out that batarang, and then Cris caught it. Kelvin always caught it, and it was just like, yo, we on that way. You know what I'm saying? So
we just showed up.
Even though he is definitely the other version of Batman.
I mean, which version? What are we? What are you talking? Universes and shit?
Different universe when Batman was kind of fat.
How about you suck my entire life?
I don't know what universe that was.
You know what it is? Did you guys watch that new Spider-Man movie, Into the Spider-Verse?
I want to watch it. I have not yet.
So I'm like the Peter Parker who likes to drink and chill in sweats. And
I'm not mad at that.
And I'm not really doing nothing, right?
I just hang out. Crime might happen.
Crime might happen. I'm in a trench coat. I haven't shaved, and I'm in sweats. Like that's me. I'm that Peter Parker.
I would definitely be that Peter Parker. And I don't know about drinking beer and stuff, but I'll definitely be in sweatpants. Yeah, I'll be in some sweatpants.
It's part of the aesthetic, bro. Come on.
So tell us a little about yourself, Kelvin. I'm sorry, I'm be hogging the mic. I don't know.
What is there to say, man? Thanks for inviting me. First of all, this is fun. Matthew and I met in jiu-jitsu, right?
That would be the first time anyone ever said my whole name.
Matthew.
Matt.
But it's okay. I mean, I don't care, but I'm just saying.
Anytime somebody says it's like the full government name, I feel like it's an ex-girlfriend.
You know what people like say abbreviated.
They'd be like...
They're abbreviated.
No, I don't care, really, if you call me Matthew.
Matthew!
But when I hear Matthew, I feel like there's the child inside me.
What did I do?
What happened?
It's like Matthew, great value, style bender, spelling.
What did I mess up? What did I mess up?
Yo, you seen the fight last night?
Yeah. Actually, it was everything I wanted it to be.
It was awesome. Style bender took it.
There was a level of respect there that... Again, big Silva fan since I can remember.
Of course, since UFC 90, though.
Not even since that, dude. I remember fucking staying up to like 4 a.m. to watch some Pride fights when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had the illegal cable box.
That's what's
like everyone.
Like every Latino in Hudson County, we had the illegal cable box.
Hell yeah. You got the chip card? You had the card with the...
Bro, I had the black box, and the Channel 69 used to be porno.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
That was epic.
Yeah.
I think that was
and it's like, is that a nipple? Is that a nipple?
Oh, with the fuzzy thing?
Yeah, with the fuzzy lines.
You used to hate that fuzzy line.
That wave?
You trying to catch it right. Oh, that's a titty. She definitely riding dick. She definitely riding it.
That fuzzy wave, you're like, yeah. Money shot? No.
That wasn't money shot.
It's pretty evident that most of us are messed up because of those illegal boxes.
I would definitely.
We saw things we shouldn't have seen.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking about this once, and I was like, you know what? If they would have just kept it legal and they would just showed it, I think we'd have been like, whatever. I know we just had to close.
It's interesting because that's how they do it in Europe to some extent. There's not this taboo around like nipples and sex in general.
Like, make anything into a taboo.
Yes.
It's a forbidden fruit. You don't want to eat.
I agree.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, no, you're not supposed to do that. Well, why? Let me go check that
I
out.
definitely feel like, again, just like you said, the taboos kind of lead to, like, you wanting to try new shit.
Yeah.
Not only that, but think about all the cultures that not so much so today, of course, because we've wiped everything out. But back in the day, you used to be just kind of walking around your tribe and just a titty,
just a
titty. You wouldn't think anything of it. Yeah. You were 4 or 5.
I mean, if we go back to the biblical days, if we go back to like the biblical days, think about it. They only started wearing clothes after the apple was eaten, and they're like, "Oh shit, tits, what?"
If you take that approach, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, after the apple was eaten.
Yeah, bro.
Well, I thought. Wait, so you saying?
I'm saying I was there.
So you saying Adam and Eve wasn't the first? I mean,
all I'm saying, they saw each other after she ate the apple, and she's like, "Oh no, my tits! Oh no, I need a little leaf."
Not to get on religion so early.
Fuck.
But
way early.
It's Sunday. It's like 11:30.
It is Sunday.
Mass is like going on upstairs.
Yeah. But fuck it. Like, why do they want me to believe that these two people had sex with each other, had 2 babies?
No condoms.
No condoms. Okay, of course not. And then those babies had sex with each other too.
Well,
I mean, yep. I mean, let's be honest. It's not the strangest.
It's the unwritten reality of the Genesis. Yep, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
if you're going by that, yeah.
Like me and Kelvin are probably like 527th distant cousins at this point. Like, according to that logic.
Genetically speaking, we all are related. That's a fact.
Primo.
That's a fact. ¿Cómo está? That's a fact. But yeah, no, it's funny
we
because
can be cousins too. It's fine.
Because based on what we know today on modern science, like it'd be impossible for you to not come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Like Adam and Eve did it, and then all their kids subsequently were basically inbred.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
Right. So there's no original perfect human unless you was Adam and Eve.
I don't know, Chris. Why'd you hate religion so early, man? Why you do this, Chris? We were talking about Batman, a bummy, Peter Parker.
You wanna go? Hold on.
Jump to religion.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the fights.
It hasn't even been a minute.
It's not even 12.
You know what it was? You know what it was?
Not even 11:30.
We went from UFC to porn, and this is how we got there.
Well,
do you want to jump back into Great Valley Stylebender?
We're all going to go back somehow. We're all going to come back in a circle. We're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Right.
So I did not see the fight, but how did it go?
It was good, man. It was really good. I actually ended up watching it this morning.
Okay.
I was out and about. Actually, I saw Halloween last night.
Yeah.
I'm a little late on this. It was really good.
It's okay.
The new one.
Yeah, the new one. Fantastic. But really good. Definitely check it out. But yeah, I saw the fights this morning via all kinds of social media. You can just kind of clip and paste it together. The thing about the fight is that you could tell Stylebender didn't want to like finish him.
Engage or
no, not they didn't want to engage. They were engaged, and you could tell Silva didn't want to hand the kid to his first loss. Like it was like playful sparring. Like they were hitting each other clearly, but it was very playful. There was like a level of respect there. Like
there was a level of respect, but I don't think it was like they didn't want to finish each other.
I definitely think Stylebender didn't want this moment to end.
But I think yes, I definitely believe the respect factor came into a play, and that's why he didn't finish him.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was like, I think because he had so much respect, he couldn't finish him.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? And Silva just was outclassed. But it was best though.
How old is he now, though?
It was a really good Anderson Silva.
Kicking fucking 40 in the ass.
Yeah, bro. Isn't he, right? Like 40 something, right? Yeah, man. It gets a little harder.
Dude, a little. Like most fighters' career is over by like 33.
Yeah.
In fact, if you really think about it, I have to go to boxing because I can't even think of too many. What's his name? Joe Rogan called him Captain America. The wrestler,
Randy Couture.
Randy Couture was one that was like 45, and he was still kind of. But that was a different era.
Yeah.
But nowadays you've got what's his name? Pretty Boy Floyd, right?
Yes.
Or Money.
No, Money.
Floyd.
First off, two different entities. We're not gonna get into the Floyd Mayweather.
Pretty Boy Floyd can knock you out.
But what I'm saying is, why is he still fighting at that age?
Yeah.
Because his style of fighting is very non-damage.
I think you and I actually had this discussion before. I'm almost certain of it. The whole conversion from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather.
Yeah, I was watching it a few weeks ago, and I was just seeing how his style changed from being more in the box with you, and then standing with the shoulder.
Exactly. Right. When it was Pretty Boy Floyd, he would lead with his front foot. He wasn't afraid. Not that he's afraid to engage, but he wasn't afraid to engage. He wasn't afraid to get in your grill and throw some hands. Once it became Money Mayweather, once he had the heel turn, right? Once he had like the Ric Flair heel turn, that's it, man. It was over. He doesn't care if he bores you. He's gonna win.
But the truth is, what is his objective? Because that's what you really have to ask, right? So everyone, you wake up in the morning, and somewhere in the back of your mind, you've got an objective. If you're a fighter, or in this case, a boxer, and your objective is to make money, how are you gonna make more money? You need to have a longer career, right? How are you gonna have a longer career? You can't be getting punched in the face. Also, that's a bad style.
I definitely think with. All right, you can get punched in the face. Fuck it, right? Yeah. You're in the sport of getting punched in the face.
Right, getting winged, but getting like damaged, like getting knocked out.
I think
that's not a long career.
I think the big change, again, from back to the money, going from Pretty
Boy
Boy
when he made that transition, right?
Yeah, from Pretty Boy to Money Mayweather. Again, it's like wrestling. It's like a heel turn. He said, you know what? Let me change my whole entire character up. Yeah. Most of the time, think about it. Floyd Mayweather fights are boring.
Yeah,
they're not good.
But what's the opposite end of that spectrum, though, Chris? Tyson in his heyday, right?
But
where you'd be like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick,"
and
you come back, the fight's over. What the fuck you mean the fight's over? Oh, he died. The guy got
exactly.
He's on the floor dead. Tyson killed a man. Like what?
Hey, Mom, what he's done?
Yeah, with the Tyson thing, it wasn't even about will he win the fight. It was about how long will this fight last. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like is it? People used to take bets. I remember hanging with the OG, and he used to be taking bets. And the bets was always like first round, second round, third round.
Right.
If you don't bet Tyson in the first round.
The thing is, what I just said, it's probably a shared experience. Yeah. I'm sure maybe the two of you had similar. I know dozens of people, literally, straight out of my past. Yeah. Oh, I'll be right back. Come back, fight's over.
And it's over. Yeah.
So after a while, you would learn. You'd be like, no, I can't leave.
And again, back to the opposite end of the spectrum, we watched Floyd to see if someone's finally going to beat him.
Right.
You don't watch him because he's entertaining.
Right.
You watch him because you want to see. Most people. I'm a fan, so I watch it because I like seeing.
Or if somebody can even get somewhere with.
Exactly.
Him.
Okay.
But why was the Canelo fight when Canelo took the fight so big? Yeah, Canelo was up and coming and he was the next big star, but everybody had that that hope that maybe this is the guy.
Right.
Well,
we watch every Floyd fight except when he's facing bums. Because we're hoping this is it. This is the guy.
Canelo had that hammer in his hand when he could hit you with that rib shot, and I think a lot of people was betting, cause Floyd still
the Philly shot,
but he still keeps his ribs out open,
somewhat exposed.
So they was hoping Canelo would be able to eat those ribs up.
Yeah, Canelo was too young. He wasn't ready.
Young, he wasn't ready.
You know what's interesting though? I cannot remember who it was, the name of the YouTube channel or whatever, but I'm sure it was a YouTube video I was watching on this. And the guy was basically breaking down how you need that to a degree, not only in fighting, prize fighting, MMA, whatever, but to a degree you need it in life. You need someone to be the a-hole that people want to see lose, right? Because
I've seen you lose. I'm sorry. Oh.
Yeah, fuck you, yo.
So the argument was, if you don't have that, then there's really, for a viewer, there's nothing for you to really watch.
There's no contrast.
Let's put it as an example. Really good guy in MMA that's like genuinely considered to be a nice guy. What's his name? French Quebec guy.
Georges St. Pierre.
Georges St. Pierre. So imagine two GSPs, right? Oh, much respect, much. I mean, the truth is, I personally wouldn't have a problem watching that, but most people wouldn't.
Yeah,
right?
not if you're
get boring.
Not if you're a hardcore fan. If you're a hardcore fan, you love it all day.
Yeah, you'd love it.
But if you're just a guy passing on TV, you don't watch it all the time. Then it's good. You need something.
Then you got a guy like, for example, growing up, we were watching Tito Ortiz,
right?
Who was just shitting on establishment.
Bad.
Shitting on establishment. My guy is still wearing MAGA hats out here. How you Mexican American wearing a MAGA hat? On God, bro.
Really? Wow.
On God.
I didn't know that.
Huge Trump supporter. But again,
really? Wow.
Isn't he married to Sable?
No, he just beat up on fucking geriatric Chuck Liddell a couple months ago.
Is he married to Sable?
No, not Brock Lesnar.
No. Okay. So
he had kids via Jenna Jameson.
Brock Lesnar, Jenna Jameson. There we go.
And then she's apparently because they're blonde and they have huge tits.
You're right.
Let's be honest. Like
that's why Brock took his and locked her behind the counter.
He took her all the way up to fucking Casa Carajo, fucking Canada, bro.
Dude, did you hear about how he runs that shit?
He's a farm boy.
He's a farmer, but it's not just that, right? They have literally one cell phone in the house. And that's he shuts off all the phone. Everybody's phone's off.
Yeah.
There's one cell phone in the house.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar. Okay? He don't play. Brock Lesnar.
I can think of worse ways to live, though.
No.
Honestly.
When the last time you seen Sable?
Do we need to?
No. She got epic versions in WWE though, but
yeah.
I think he just is like enjoys his privacy.
He does
to some degree.
I actually know somebody who like met him in, I guess, in his hometown. A friend of mine from here, from like North Bergen, actually ended up moving to Wisconsin. Who the fuck knows why? He was at who the fuck goes to Wisconsin? Until what do you have in Wisconsin? You have cheese and you have the Green Bay Packers.
You got cheese and all the laws.
If you're a cheese lover,
there's
and
no
you love
reason.
the Packers.
Fair, that's fair.
Okay, it's fair. But it's a beautiful place.
She met him at, I think it was a high school volleyball game. He was there seeing his daughter. His daughter looks exactly like him, which is the scariest thing.
Okay, no, that kind of freaks me out.
That is kind of freaky. Yeah,
that's kind of freaky.
But yeah, apparently, like if you catch him like in one of those situations, super nice guy.
Yeah,
If you catch him at an airport, I heard he's a dick though.
Nobody wants to be at the airport.
Nobody likes the airport.
And you know who? I obviously cannot speak from experience from this, but you know who probably said it best and really gave me some insight into it. It was Eminem back in the day, because what he was talking about is that when you reach that level of fame, there's no like wall that people respect. Where like, oh, I'm such and such with my daughter and my wife. Maybe I just need a moment, right?
Yeah.
Maybe now's not the moment for you to come up in my space.
I got a quick question.
Yo, I love you.
Though. I got a quick question about that. So what happens if, like, let's just see somebody crazy. Let's just say The Rock.
Okay.
I always bring up The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson, biggest star right now that we have.
Right.
Let's
Cool.
say. He's there. He's
So you look like
talking.
you're salivating talking
A
about
little bit. A little bit. But never gonna meet this guy. Probably never gonna meet this guy or have the chance to meet him again. He's probably with his kid. What do I do? Do I be like,
I got a good one for you.
okay, what do I do? I still
met
need
him.
that autograph though, B.
I met him when he was still like Rocky Maivia.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
At like, you guys remember Willowbrook Mall?
Yeah.
They were doing a signing at Willowbrook Mall.
You have the haircut he had back in the day.
Yeah.
You do.
You really do.
I-
You're a
I'm not
young
mad
Maivia, huh?
Yeah, man.
First off, actually. You give me a fanny pack and a turtleneck. We out, son. We out.
I can definitely catch you. I can definitely see you wearing that. That is hilarious.
I'm going to invest my hard-earned money into this Ancestry.com thing.
That's so.
And God forbid you fucking tell me I'm like 5% fucking Pacific Islander? You guys are never gonna hear the end of it.
Yo, but we'll say that the same thing because we were trying to get in contact with 23andMe, right? So
Y'all trying to get sponsored?
Yeah,
Y'all trying to get a freebie, you dirty motherfuckers?
Of course. They hit me back, but we had.
They're like, no, we can't do this.
We talk. Hey, we talk. So
Ancestry.com.
No, but
Hit me up.
Free. We was talking about it. And I was like, listen, if that thing says I'm Samoan, even this much,
0.2%.
even this much, I was like, yeah, I like my color, I like my peoples, but even this much, I am New Rock Maivia. Do you understand me? Call me.
All your social media changes.
All of it.
We're getting tattoos. We're talking.
I'm getting the Samoan.
I'm fucking learning the haka.
You know the difference though with
The
him
haka
is
is dope.
everyone universally says that he's that guy that you actually can approach.
Right.
But
Universally.
that's him.
But I don't want to talk to
that's
somebody because I know if I had my kid at a table, I wouldn't want nobody come talking to me while I'm at the table.
And everybody's living a different life.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what that person's situation is currently with their spouse. They could have just had a fight.
Exactly.
And you just come in at the right moment and you say the wrong thing.
Get that uppercut.
You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, if you meet the wrong person, mira, hijo de la gran puta, vete aquí, carajo, right? Like, they'll just
Facts.
send you, and now you
Matt,
feel
did
like
you understand any of that?
Yes, I did.
because now
Watch
you're
your
like,
mouth.
oh man, he's an asshole. Meanwhile, he's really not an asshole. You just caught him on the bad day.
Yeah.
So fame is weird like that, man.
Yeah.
Eminem was talking about
I
that
also
years
feel
ago.
like he's been, if you heard it, if you guys know the Rock backstory, at one point he was like living out of his car at $7 to his name.
broke AF, yeah.
I feel like he thinks, all right, I'm here, so let me do as much as I can. I remember. And he grew up in the industry. Think about it. His granddad are wrestlers, so he grew up around that.
How do you get their attention though? I'm like, yo, I'm never gonna see this. I'm never gonna have this opportunity another day in my life.
You shoot your shot.
I'm
You
like-
shoot your shot.
Excuse me, little girl. Hey.
Yeah.
Nah. Hell nah. Son.
Fuck it. Sorry, little girl.
You know, we don't often think about this, but you've never in history been able to have as much exposure as you have today.
It's true.
And you could be, I'm just going to use this term, but I don't mean it this way. You could be a nobody and have 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
You could be a
I
nobody.
have about 1,000
you know what I mean?
followers.
And it really does something to you because we're hardwired to seek that social inclusion.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I mean, you may have something wrong with you, you know, brain chemistry-wise.
Yeah.
You're the exception.
Yeah.
Most people enjoy the group, be it 5, 10, right? Saying,
Pack,
hey,
I hate to say it,
attaboy.
pack mentality.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You're great. We approve.
Yeah.
So when you have that times 10,000, man, it's overwhelming to some people.
Yeah,
you know?
You get absorbed in that because we was talking about this. Sometimes you have, let's just say we're having a conversation, and then
Which we are.
And one day we're talking about, I don't know, I think you should be able to euthanize doggies.
Right.
I'm just going to talk. I'm just example.
Let's use that as an example.
I get all the hate mail from the dog lover. And then and then all of a sudden, 10 months later, I'm like, damn, you know what? I don't think that's right anymore. You know what I'm saying? But you build this following behind just that. You kind of have to live by that. So some people get really trapped in their way of thinking.
You know what it is though, like
for one moment. You know how many times have we been outside and we just said something crazy because we was upset or we just thought about it at that one moment? Like, you don't really want to shoot the guy that probably cut you off in traffic. I mean, and maybe at that moment you want to shoot him, but like when you go home, you're like, good thing I didn't shoot that guy.
Right.
I don't want to go to jail. You know? Like,
yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fair. But like, shitty drivers.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm
but
sorry.
it's all
I'm
about
stuck
being-
on that.
Yeah, shitty drivers.
I get stuck on road rage.
Yeah,
We've all experienced it, but the thing about it is that you're absolutely right. And this is something that we're now kind of starting to learn to deal with and to understand the dynamics of. Because it's sort of a little bit of an offshoot of what you're saying, but sort of a part of the same tree. You do something when you're 12, 13.
Yeah.
15 years ago, 20 years ago, it disappeared, right? Maybe your closest friends remember, hey, remember that time? Yeah. Shh. And that was it.
Yeah.
Now you do something stupid. It's there forever because you're putting it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, right? And
God forbid,
we don't seem to want to understand.
Think about it. Wasn't there I think he was like a top drafted like baseball player, like a top highly recruited.
How many
player.
athletes have done the same or
And
similar?
he dropped. I think he dropped a couple N-bombs on Twitter, being white, and now he's like, no career.
There was a football player like that. Did some time. He was supposed to get drafted. Did some anti-Semitic gay slurs and stuff like that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Said some shit about the Jews, and
Dude, he did that like 9-10 years ago. He was like, they don't even think that. They won't even draft him.
Now here's my thing, right? I don't want to say, oh, that's fine, right? It's not, right? It's reprehensible. But the thing is, if I walk outside and I just hear some random dude, F the gays or damn Jews, right? Like, I'm not going to, even if I was Jewish or if they're saying, freaking Dominicans, fuck platanos, right? I'm not going to be in my mind like, oh my God, I hate this. I have to hate this man. At least I've grown to think this way, right? That person is in a place where they haven't crossed that line yet.
Yeah.
Where they're still stuck in a way of thinking. And it's like me, like you just said, right? There was a point in time where I thought something, I don't think that anymore. So are you going to now hold me to that, to my 15-year-ago self? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. I get what you're saying. Well, I think what people are nervous about in the moment, like when you say something crazy in the moment, they're nervous that you don't have the control to not act on or, build some following around that momentary thought.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they explode too because they believe, well, you're having this moment, I have to have a moment too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is the only way to balance this situation
exactly.
out. But the 15 years ago thing, like something happened a few years ago and it comes popping back up, it depends on what it is.
Yeah.
It really depends. Like if you
like the severity of
how
what
bad
you just did, how
like,
bad you fucked up.
If you said something really fucked up once upon a time, all right, and you grown, you're of course like when I was fucking 19, I believed in so much nonsense.
You
that
definitely
now
sucked all the dicks at 19.
We all.
What?
What?
Well, not
Go
that
fuck
part. Wait,
yourself.
what?
All right? Go fuck yourself.
Damn.
All right. Definitely talk about your past.
You definitely sucking all the dicks at 19?
But 19, you definitely not thinking at 30 what you're thinking at 30.
Absolutely not.
There's no way.
No way.
But you want me to be held responsible for something
19-year-old Matt.
that 19-year-old Matt, I tell people this all the time. 19-year-old Matt was a psycho. All right? And 30-year-old Matt is a father. I can't.
It's not the same.
Yeah, you're on two
it's
different
not the same
wavelengths, bro.
thing.
That's
Yeah,
it.
you know what I'm saying? So
There are other things too, though, and you just touched on it. What was it that was done or said? And then what is it within the current context that you're trying to do? So if you're somebody who's trying to go for a political position and you're on camera, you know, saying fucking niggers, right? It's like, whoa, okay. I mean,
That hard R, bro. That hard R, bro.
Will get you stabbed.
you know what I mean? Right?
What's
You
that?
know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum, you know, same sort of example, but if you're Barack Obama pre-presidency and you're caught on film saying, "Yo, what up, my nigga?" I don't think anyone's gonna care, right?
No, absolutely
No one's
not.
gonna care. But isn't that interesting that there's that kind of
Well, he
the N-word-
gets the pass.
The N-word gets, anybody with this skin color gets the pass
Yeah.
because of, you know, racial and the, you know.
I get weird
everything
about that,
happened,
man. Just
the
because,
problems.
like, and again, people are probably going to disagree with me or agree, whatever. Why do Latinos feel the fact? Why do they feel the need to think that they get the pass?
I don't know.
Have you seen some Dominicans?
I get it. No,
There are
no,
some
but here's the
Dominicans
thing.
darker
like, for
than
example,
Matt.
most
you and
Latinos-
you and I,
Yeah.
look at this,
Yeah.
right here.
Okay.
Huh?
If I stand in the sun for 15 hours,
I would die,
But listen,
man.
but-
I look to European to be trying to drop that word, bro.
It is true, but here's a question. Some Latinos don't know their heritage, and they don't know that they come from black people.
Yeah, we're Samoans.
So like, you know, I'm Samoan, but
Sorry, bro.
but like it's they don't know their heritage. So
I just get uncomfortable, man. Like
like,
that's not the way
it's
we were
weird because in the
raised.
hood, because I know difference. I
Yeah.
traveled around. In the hood, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like Latinos say, nigga, it's all good. Like, it's
white
whatever.
people in the hood
That's all
say
day.
it sometimes.
Not
and it
really.
makes it pass.
No, you don't get
I've
that.
heard it.
Yeah, you got.
It depends on the
Don't come over here.
what the
We're talking
ending
about
is.
some
It
stuff.
depends on what the ending is. You know?
Here's the ending. Come over here and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but
It's a card game, and you slip up. All right.
I think if you're a white guy and you get the nigga pass, right? You can only say it with that group that allows
I
you to
agree.
get that pass.
That's true.
Anybody step outside, anybody outside that group hears you, got all rights to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
Now let me
I've been
introduce
guilty
this.
of it. I'm gonna.
Have you been called on it?
Well, no, actually. So, growing up, played a little bit of basketball. Was actually a
Okay.
decent hooper, and my traveling team was actually out in Jamaica, Queens.
Jamaica Queens.
Yes.
Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd be traveling
Right,
for
right,
practice
right.
and whatnot, and most of the time, like I'd say for like 3 seasons I was there, 2 of the seasons I was A, the only Latino, B, the whitest kid on the team. But like they gave me the pass,
Right.
like.
Oh yeah.
I remember the first time I dropped, I was like, "Fuck this nigga!" No.
What position were you playing?
I played everything from a 3 to a 5. So I played small forward, one of the forwards or center, depending
Okay.
on what you needed.
Okay.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, and they looked at me like, "What?" And I was just fucking furious. And they're like, "You know what? You're good. You're good.
well, who's your mother and father? Okay.
You're fine. You're fine."
Sounds all right. Put away the bat. Put away the bat.
So
He's good, guys. He's good.
I can't remember the guy's name. I'm notorious for this, but it was a gentleman who is talking about his experience. He was playing piano at some like blues jazz type spot or whatever, and he's doing a real good job. He's real good, and someone says to him, "Hey, I've never heard anyone play as well as you, especially a black guy." Turns out it was a white KKK not only member, but actually the wizard. So like the
Grand
yeah,
Poobah?
right. Like the chief of the KKK.
So weird.
Here's the thing. He, black man, right? Didn't take offense to it. Didn't
Yeah.
He actually started befriending this guy. This is on YouTube. You could see them.
Is this the guy that joined the KKK? The black guy that joined the
Black
KKK?
Klansman?
Yeah,
Black
I
Klansman?
think you're right. I don't know that he joined, but the point is
Did
he
you
was
get like an initiation card or something?
I don't know that he joined. That'd
shit.
be pretty hard to join the KKK. But the point
mean-
is, he hung around the guy so much that eventually, because of his behavior, he was like, okay, so he couldn't keep thinking that way. Is my point?
Yeah.
Because he thought this guy's not that way.
Yeah.
He's not lazy. He's not stupid. He's very talented. Right. He speaks well, better than I can.
Yeah.
And eventually, that KKK guy's mind couldn't reconcile the BS ideas in his head to
Exactly.
the reality in front of him. Here's the
So
tough part
you're
about
saying
that.
we need to go chill with our enemies?
Well, yes, to an extent, but here's why. Because the alternative is
let's
what?
get this
War.
chance.
The alternative is war.
True.
And that's the easy part.
Yeah,
If you say something that offends me,
war is
and
all-
I'm so unhinged that I'm like, I don't care that Chris has family, friends that are going to love him,
They're all
his
bad.
job. He says something that offends me, Papa. what kind of a way is that to run a society?
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Exactly.
But that's exactly the same kind of thing that you see with people like KKK members, or some MS-13 type people. You know what I mean? Where they're in a place in their mind, they have very little or no self-control, right? Yeah. So again,
well, when it comes down to gangs, I'm sorry to cut you off. When it comes down to gangs, those are like people usually looking for a home.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But they find the wrong home.
They find the wrong home.
Now,
they find the wrong community.
They found the right home, which we could argue about what that is.
Yeah, right.
I would say maybe a good jiu-jitsu school would be a good start, right?
Yeah, maybe.
It humbles you and you grow and you get better as a person overall, right? Arguably.
Arguably.
And then,
I mean, we have some really shitty people in ours.
Okay, fine.
We have some shitty people.
But that's what I say, arguably. The point is, whatever it is, I think most of us would agree MS-13 is not the right family.
No, absolutely not.
Right? Because do they really care about you? Of course not. No. If I really care about somebody, say you're pissed off about something. You say, yo, Kelvin, I'm about to go, like, murder half a block. If I really care about you, I'm not going to be like, all right, go, bet. Do that. I'm gonna say, whoa.
Damn, you messing up my plans for Wednesday.
I'm gonna say, yo, what happened, right? Yeah. What brought you to this point where you want to go murder a block?
Yeah, but then
I also think you're very level-headed, and you're automatically, you see that and you want to diffuse.
No, okay.
We all have those friends that are like, fuck it, I'm out there with you.
See, I'm one
like
of those
Matt.
Friends. I'm definitely
exactly.
Yeah. Once the switches click, the switches click.
Exactly.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? And it takes it takes time by myself to kind of be like, okay, all right, what am I doing? Because I have to really catch myself.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but that's why I try not to get pissed off at so much stuff. I just kind of I walk away from the situation, because if once that switch is over, like I don't care if it happened 10 years ago. I'm gone.
And back to your point of gang members look for a family. They look for people of kind of the same mindset. You know what I mean? Like the pack mentality, as they would say, right? So Matthew's heated. Some guy just fucking popped his tires, whatever the case may be, right?
He popped my tires.
Damn.
I'm just saying, like.
And you saw him do it?
Why not? Exactly.
So he walked out and the guy's got the knife.
He's like, yeah.
I'm already tight.
So Matthew, you see Matthew's ass was like this, like that. So I'm just upset. Matthew tells me, hey, this motherfucker just did that. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. And that's kind of like where the gang mentality comes from. You get the like-minded people. You get that support system. Might not be the greatest support system, but all right, Matthew's getting into some shit. I got him. I'm getting into some shit. He got me.
But it got to be a way of taking that same support system that might not be good and turning it into something positive. I've seen something where Killer Mike is doing something with the Bloods and Crips by making them entrepreneurs. And they started off, what was it, Crip Cola and Blood Pop is now, and they got their own signature on how it looks and dude, it's really, and it's actually, I actually looked it up. It's actually better for you than actually Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so not as bad
chemically and everything. They actually.
So what is it called? Crip
Cola and Blood Pop.
Blood Pop.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
way to fucking capitalize gang fucking warfare.
So he's
all right.
He's like, by turning them into something more than just a gang. Yeah. And more into like entrepreneurs.
Right.
They turn them into like business owners. They become well respected in the community instead of being feared. They could actually start providing jobs and stuff like that. So the Crip and Bloods will actually become bigger than than just people who want to just entice violence. You know, there has to be a way of doing this, because these people don't just come. You don't just get together in a tribe and try not to find some goal. There has to be some goal.
In my mind, what you just said, the connection I make is to. Tyson recently spoke with Joe Rogan. He was on his podcast, right? And if anyone saw that interview, if you haven't, I recommend it. You really do.
I listened to it.
But basically, if you kind of listen to the whole thing and you listen to the underlying current behind everything he's saying, essentially what happened was he was a kid that, by any measure, had a very bad life, right? And he had the luck, because it really was just luck, right? He could have been someplace else on a Tuesday and this wouldn't have happened. But he met Custamato, right? Custamato had the brilliance of knowing, okay, this kid is nothing if not a ball of rage and anger, right? If I leave him, he's just going to be in jail tomorrow and maybe dead, right? Okay. Instead, I'm going to take him, I'm going to mold him, I'm going to shave away the unnecessaries and put him in front of that bag and just say, you got to just go, right? Now, here's the thing. In a way, that was kind of throwing more fuel on the already burning, raging fire, right? Which you could argue psychologically, emotionally, not the best thing.
The man was getting hypnotized.
But what was the alternative?
Yeah.
Right. The alternative was
again. It's the lesser. It's
the
lesser
evil.
And even though he did end up still going to jail, but it's the lesser of evil. It could have been worse.
Because if you tell me like, yo, I want to go punch someone in the face, I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna take you and instead take you to a gym, punch the bag instead, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
get it out.
My girlfriend, who I don't know if she's watching or not, gives me a hard time about this. I grew up in a typical Latino household, one parent household, deadbeat dad, whatever, right?
Right.
So I grew up really pissed off, right?
Yeah, of course.
And again, sports were my,
Outlet.
my outlet, right? And even now, like, jiu-jitsu or the gym or working out is how I deal with it. Like, most of the time, she's like, oh, I don't get why you go and, fucking have other men's balls in your face. I was like, first off, I'm never on the fucking bottom.
That doesn't happen all the time.
The way you think
like, girl, do you not see me?
But,
balls in my
but
face.
think about it. We show up, right? It's an hour and a half a night where you're thinking of nothing else but the man across from me is trying to choke me out.
Yeah, exactly.
So work doesn't matter. Stress doesn't matter. Bills, drama, none
I
of that
need
matters.
to train.
Because if it did, you would lose anyway. Because you're preoccupied, and now you're like,
when I wasn't training,
So think about
when
that.
I wasn't training, things got really dark. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't notice how dark it got. I was making stupid mistakes. I was dealing with people. I was allowing stuff that shouldn't have been allowed because I took time off and all this other stuff. And sometimes you need something to just center you. And for a lot of guys, we need physical work.
Right.
We need physical work. It doesn't matter if you sit behind I think anybody who sits behind a desk needs to hit a gym.
Of
I don't
course.
care who you are. I don't care
Or at
what
least
gym.
do something
I don't care if you do
physical.
Pilates.
Yeah,
do something. You need physical work.
You need to get it
you
out.
need-
Until such a time as we're no longer biological beings.
Dude,
No.
I don't
Right?
train.
You need to do something physical. Absolutely.
That fuse is like getting snapped all
Yeah.
the time, baby.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I realized when I snapped with my kid, and my kid was like, one.
Oh, yeah,
time.
so they don't
It's
know
like,
anything.
I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And then so
You
even when
realize
my
that-
wife
yeah.
like gets mad and she be like, why you gotta train all the time? I'm like, because I don't want to stab nobody. So I'm trying not to kill. All right?
But the thing, Matt, the thing is, most people don't get that.
Yeah.
Even a lot of men don't get that.
Yeah.
You know, most men probably
Yeah.
would, but even some don't, and most women don't understand
Yeah,
that.
but my aggression got me to those
Yeah.
places that you don't want to get to. Those
Yeah.
dark places, the jails, all that stuff. I got there because of my aggression. No, you need. And then I learned. I'm just like, you know what? I don't care how much trouble I'm in. I have to get this stuff out. And then I meet other guys that are the same way. They're like, and when I go to gym, they're like, dude, if I don't come, it's just gonna be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
If I don't come, it's gonna be a problem. I don't know if guys really understand. Like, you have to be probably a really less than a beta man to like not realize that you need some
this.
type of
You need this. Exactly.
outlet.
Yeah, I don't even think you need to bring in the labels of beta or alpha, though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's just that. But it's just that. Well, I mean, your name, right? Alpha B. So
Alpha
but
Bees.
see, this goes back to what we were saying in the
My bad.
beginning, right? So he has this need to see things through the prism of alpha or beta, right?
Yes.
Because that's your social media name and everything.
Yes. Yes,
See.
yes.
Wow.
Here's the thing about it. Some people could totally be like, you look at them 9 out of 10 times, they're like totally calm, passive. And you might think, oh, what a beta.
Yeah.
That guy by me an actual fucking psycho.
No.
That just happens to be holding on,
I don't want
right?
you to think that I don't believe people who are. No. I don't.
What's that one
like,
Jordan
the
Peterson
thought-
quote? You just got me thinking. It's a harmless man is a was
Yes,
a
I
harmless
think
man
I
is a
knew.
weak man.
I know the one. I can't remember it now, but
Yeah,
yes, I know
harmless
the
man
one.
is a
but
weak man,
definitely,
a,
I never think anybody's just
I
a
can't remember the
beta
quote.
because they're not talking or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't hang out. That's not what a beta alpha is. Just beta alpha is how you conduct your life. It's just what it is to me.
Okay.
Now you're right though. The guy that I believe is a beta could be definitely a psycho.
Yeah,
He's definitely a psycho. Now, can a psycho be a beta? Yes.
I suppose.
It could be a
I
beta.
suppose.
Too. It's all about.
I mean, actually, you could argue that is very beta behavior. If you let a situation sort of dominate you instead
that's
of you
what got
dominating
me.
the
See,
situation.
that's what got me. Now, it was a lady. All right. Now it's gonna sound funny.
oh boy.
All right. She was a dominatrix. Okay.
Nice.
No. She wasn't my dominatrix. I don't have dominatrix.
So she
Why
definitely
she
put
was
it
a
in
dominatrix,
you.
but she had an understanding of what strength is or whatever. And she said,
The safety
now
word
with
is
me, shut
apple.
your ass up.
The safety word is
Safety
Fidelio.
word is fellatio. But
How is that the safety word?
that's,
She's about to penetrate man. He's like, Fidelio! Fidelio!
But what she was saying is that, she was like, by losing control, you're actually showing beta mentality.
Yeah, to a
Because you
degree.
have no self-control. He's like, and a person who has self-control is an alpha. They have to, not only do they have to lead, they have to have control themselves not to make a mistake. So that's what the whole alpha is.
Or at least have that mentality,
Yeah.
because it's not a perfect system,
No.
but at least 9 out of 10 times, it can't just be that somebody said something or did something and now you go, ah, right, and you just lose your shit. It's like, that's not very alpha. Come on now.
Right. Yeah,
But at the same time, going back to what you were saying, it's like,
She go back of the line.
if
baby.
you don't have any outlet at all,
No.
physical, right?
No.
I don't know that you can really make it, especially today. I'm just speaking for myself now, right? If I didn't have something physical to do, man, there are really times. So I really understand. I relate to what you're saying.
Yeah.
There are times where I've had like an argument, and it's like, oh my god. And then I just go to jiu-jitsu and I'm like, oh, okay, I feel better now.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can sleep well.
Dude.
And if I hadn't, man, I don't like
I
myself.
do about 20 rounds on the bag, boy. Then I wait for you
helps.
psychos to come into the gym, and then we just fuck each other up.
Yeah, it helps.
And I get home, and I could be like, you know what, wife? Them dishes was mine. Flush the fucking dishes for you.
Right.
You know
right.
what?
That is
I
my
did
mug.
fuck
You
up.
My bad.
My bad. Actually, you want your feet rubbed? Come here. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool.
No.
But like
You need
before
that,
I don't. I just need that shit.
Now, I find it interesting. We're talking about a physical outlet, but oftentimes I find people don't have mental outlets. And that's lacking sometimes, too.
So
where you're stuck in the drudgery of some
Yeah.
job you hate.
Yeah.
And you only really keep it because you've got bills.
You got bills to
kids,
pay,
right?
Well, I kind of keep them together. The physical and the mental game is my thing. He trained with me before.
Yeah.
So he knows, it's not, for me, it's just pushing as far as I could go.
Yeah.
Because I need my mind to be, concentrated on one thing.
Right.
And let everything
It's like
else
the
go.
clarity.
You know what I mean?
You don't want the
need
clutter.
I need that zen moment.
But that's you. I'm
Yeah.
saying some people have a physical outlet,
Right, right.
perhaps,
But they don't have them, yeah.
but they don't have any mental outlet. So they're not, I don't want to say they're kind of stuck mentally,
No.
but it's like they're not really challenging themselves mentally.
No.
Okay.
So, they might have a great Instagram picture with six packs and stuff and
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, I know
But if
those
you're
guys.
trying to engage them in any conversation, they just kind of stare at you like,
know exactly.
okay,
Bro.
Yeah, I know
bro,
those guys.
that's cool.
I know those guys. Huh?
What? Known a couple of those
You know,
guys.
and I'm not
Half
talking
drool
about
coming out the face. Wipe
Yeah,
your lip.
exactly. Which is not to confuse it with me saying you have to have a PhD.
Yeah.
No, not like that. But
But you have to have something up there.
Yes, you've gotta be able to
engaged,
think. Exactly.
And have critical thinking skills and be able to have these conversations without, just fucking one big loogie like fucking Matthew, who's probably still hanging up there.
listen, oh my
Yo.
goodness. The picture of it though.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Y'all gross. I can't believe you took a picture of that shit.
Dude, I wasn't gonna, but it was just hanging.
Alright, so people who's listening,
it was hanging.
The grossest thing I've ever
I
seen.
spit a loogie, it hit a tree,
You mean-
and it just hung there for a while like a Christmas ornament.
All the semen you sucked this morning.
Shut your ass up.
You
Alright.
spit it out finally, and it's like yeah.
So this is gray area now because I personally feel like that's why combat sports to a degree, but even more specifically jiu-jitsu is kind of the bridge between those two worlds.
Okay.
You can't be actually stupid
Yeah.
and be good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Actually.
You can have a lot of dumb ideas. Don't get me wrong. You could,
Okay, I
you
get
could,
what
be-
you're saying.
you could
Okay,
believe
okay.
a lot of ridiculous
Yeah.
things.
Right.
Perfect example of that. I love the guy, Eddie Bravo. Right?
Yeah.
You talk to this man, he thinks the planet is flat.
Flat Earth, baby.
Flat earthers. Flat earthers.
Right? And you look at him and you don't know if he's joking at first, right? But he's not joking.
He's
He
not.
actually
Look it up,
believes
boss.
that.
Look it up.
He believes
Do your
that.
research. Look it up.
But at the
Do
same
research.
time, Eddie Bravo generally he's pretty bright when it comes
he's
to
a jiu-jitsu
game.
genius.
You know what I mean?
Jiu-jitsu.
Savant.
Savant.
Yeah.
So
Insanity.
those are the things that I find myself doing most often is I'm thinking about,
right.
why did I mess this up? Or why did I get caught in that? And you got to be very self-critical and analytical, not in the detrimental, like criticizing yourself, but like you got to think, Matt keeps catching me in this because I keep leaving my arm out.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me not do that anymore.
Exactly.
Right?
Well,
and
that's
eventually,
through experience, right?
It's through experience, but you're also forced to think about it. Because if you're just blank all the time,
you're right.
literally no thinking, then you will not come to that realization.
Yeah.
You won't, because you're just going to be blank staring.
Dude, I used to go home thinking about stuff I used to get caught in. Freaking elbow hurt because I got like 12 arm bars that day. I'm like, how the fuck does that keep happening?
There is literally, and no offense to anybody else, love the guys at the gym. There's literally only one person that really like just upsets me. And he's sitting right across from me.
Why?
And don't get me wrong.
Why, man?
And don't get me wrong. Like again, we've rolled. I've rolled with Gustav. I've rolled with everybody else. I'll play a small man game. I don't know. You can attest to that. But there's just something about this piece of shit.
All right,
Jesus.
All right, so let me give you a little bit of backstory. My first day at the old school, right? I was like, yeah, go work with Matt. And I was like, all right, cool. He looks like a nice guy. Fucking throws me on my head. Hey, we're rolling like, dang.
I was told to make sure you like jiu-jitsu. So
you slammed him on his head.
But show him that
equation.
there is someone out here that's also as strong as him. So I had to.
So you threw me on my head. Tell me.
Where's the math there?
Okay, so what happened is, like every white belt, right? He's not properly trained in how to fall. But he had some. That wasn't your first day when I met you.
What was my first day at the school?
No, you did.
I had a little bit of a background.
You trained before.
Yeah, I trained before.
With Dennis, didn't you?
No,
Didn't you have a few days with him?
No.
With Professor Moon? No.
This was my first day at this academy. I'd done it a while back.
So he was just like, yeah, he's a strong, if you don't know, shout out to Professor Malone.
What up, Malone?
So he goes, he's big and he's strong. And I go, okay. He's like, I think you guys can go together. I think you should show, he's like, just, don't go light.
Don't murder him, but don't
go light because he's really strong. So I go, oh, okay. And so I go, he goes for, I think you went for a slam. I think you went for a toss.
I went for a toss.
He went for a toss, and I switched the toss, and I tossed him back. And then he went, so as an elder belt, when a white belt comes trying to toss you, you get a little pissed. So I tossed his ass back. And he's been coming ever since. There you go. I won.
He abused you. I understand.
He pulled the ring.
He abused his power.
He abused
his power. I was like, and I Dennis looked at me like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, he was gonna touch
Chris is
me.
holding back. Chris is holding back tears.
I'm looking up like an angry puppy. I'm like, no.
I'm standing over like, who's master?
And now I'm just trying to maul you like a bear every chance I get.
I got nervous because if you ever seen Chris come at you, he looks like a bear. Because he's all wide stance, and I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna fucking kill me. So I gotta fight for my life.
Yeah. But to your credit, you stuck with it.
Right? Yeah, man, so. It's good, man. He was like, I can't believe this small guy just tossed me.
Yeah, it was a back to your point. It was humbling and it was an ego check, and
I think most guys need to be checked.
And it's interesting because it could have gone both ways, and that's true of anyone that walks in.
I think
at that point you could have walked out.
Yeah. Most people, I always say, friendships are usually the best friendships happen with the punch in the face.
Yeah, metaphorically or sometimes literally.
Yeah, if you want to really test your friendship, someone got punched someone in the face, and to see if you could come back the next day and be cool. Yeah, I got great friendships from fighters or people that I just came in contact with because of, I don't know, maybe we had an argument or something. We just slap each other up, and they'd be like, "Dude, you hit me hard as fuck." I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man." And I was like, and we'll just have a beer or something. I think fighters are awesome. Like the first time I had my first fight, I think Professor Malone attested. I retired the guy, but he did beat me on the. That was my first MMA fight, and he beat me, and he caught me with a Peruvian necktie. I think he Yeah, he had me, but I was just eating ribs. So I think the next day he comes back, he's all taped up. He's like, "Yeah, you want to get a beer?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's get a beer." Let's get a beer. I feel that. I'm like, "Let's get a beer." No. I'm walking out chilling. It was just, but awesome. Fighters dopes. Fighters are dope.
You know, I think that there's a correlation between the physical, what you just described, and then the, let's say, verbal fighting or like the arguments, right? Of which you're seeing more now, simply because of social media. There's more exposure to it.
You're offending me.
One person that comes to mind that you mentioned a moment ago is you said it.
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson, right? And so in social media, everyone kind of generally agrees that like he's got some very interesting ideas and some very valid points. But then in like your traditional media, they try to crucify him.
They try to make him a right winger.
They try to paint him like he's a misogynist or he's this.
Yeah.
Mind you, when I say I've probably watched over 100 hours of the man, I'm not exaggerating.
I got his books on my Audible.
Yeah. So I'm looking for it, and I've never seen it. I've never seen where he's been like, fuck bitches.
Because honestly, when I first heard of Jordan Peterson, shout out Jordan Peterson, you should come on. But when I first heard of Jordan Peterson, I was told that he was a right winger.
Right.
And he was like, it's some asshole right wing, do. And then I listened to him. And I was like, because I don't trust that guy.
I can tell you automatically, that's like, fuck that white guy.
I was like, yeah, I'll definitely say fuck that white guy. So I listened to him and I was like, I didn't hear no political statement at all. First, I didn't hear nothing political.
No.
And then he was just telling people to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can fuck with this guy. Then I started listening to his teachings, and then I was like, oh, okay, I like this guy. And then I heard him on Rogan podcast and shit.
But you see how most people get offended sometimes, even by the mere sort of association.
Yeah,
that he said something kind of. Yeah. Right? If you want to bend things a little bit, he said something kind of right wing. He didn't.
No.
But if you are now of that other team,
then you'll see it that
now
way.
You're like, oh, he's a misogynist, racist, whatever.
But you know, all right, not that he's misogynist. Again, I'm on the same boat. Big fan, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's also a lot of his following is of the, not the alpha mentality, but the alpha bro mentality.
Yeah.
But that's what rubs people the wrong way.
But it helps the alpha bro, because a lot of those alpha bros don't have those people
to kind of guide them. But I don't think it's so much him. I think it's the following of the alpha bro that turns people off from it.
Well, one of the ways I've heard him described is that he's the dumb man's smart man, right?
Yeah. Oh.
He's like the dumb man's intellectual. I was just going to say the same thing. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I mean, this goes back to like lesser of two evils, right? Yeah. If you've got a moron, right? And he's getting some intelligence,
something
sprinkled on him. Yeah. Hey, I think that's better than none, right?
Yeah,
so what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? I like this speech, Make Your Bed.
Make Your Bed?
Yeah, the Make Your Bed speech. If you never heard of that, go hit up Jordan Peterson, Make Your Bed, and it pops up. It's pretty good. But the funny thing is about his voice, you would never, if it wasn't this time that we live in, you would never hear somebody like him.
Yeah.
Ever.
Again, if you look for
just the way his cadence, the how he talks, he would never be accepted in regular media.
Got it.
Yeah. But in social media, he's like, because you're willing to spend those hours listening to him, like
there's an outlet for it.
Well, the thing too is that you couldn't do this before. Now with a smartphone, if you commute anywhere, hell, even if you drive, you just pop it on and you're just listening.
How insane this shit is only about 11 years old.
Yeah. But totally transformative. Yeah. I got to say, I'm getting the sense, the feeling that you guys probably do the same, but would you say that you primarily use your phone for learning, right? In some way, in some capacity, even if it's just like learning a new move. Would you say, whereas some people use their phone primarily for just like entertainment, right? Or like cat videos, right?
There's nothing wrong with cat videos.
For me, so for me, it was really transformative because prior to this, I had to sit and be on a
laptop,
and that was it.
You're from what generation?
I'm 37, so I was born in 81.
Right. So I was born in 87. So
y'all old as shit.
So you seen all of it.
Oh yeah.
You seen Were you down? Wait,
You went from you
wasn't
desktop computers.
After I know the 8-track, I've seen when I played one, but that was past my time or before my time.
That was before your time, but you've seen the cassettes.
So he was there for cassettes,
CDs, early MP3 players.
You was there for the starter
CD man, Walkman.
Yeah, Walkman.
You was there for the starter cassettes then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was there when the cassettes was about to go out. So I did make my own little mixtapes and blah blah blah. Carry them to school, put in my Walkman.
Did you give it to a girl? Did she reject you?
Nah, she didn't reject me. She took that mixtape. She knew what time it was. Right.
She knew what time it was.
She knew what time.
The time it was.
Okay.
You had Bell Biv DeVoe. That girl is
trying to record it off the radio with Jones and hit that red button and the play button at the same time. They don't know. They don't know the red button and the play button. And sometimes the freaking play button was slide back and forth, so you had to hold that bitch down like that. Oh, you don't.
You know what I think? I think growing up, I'm a 90s. I'm 1990, literally right at the start. We have such a fond appreciation for all that stuff. I'm talking like, if I want to hear a song, again, I'd have to go through the struggle of recording it, and hopefully it comes back on the radio, and let me grab it right now, right? Now, pull up your phone, fucking listen to whatever you want.
2 seconds.
Like now, we live in the era of instant gratification.
And there can be pros and definitely cons to that too.
Yeah, we get instant gratification, like you said earlier. We have the ability to get as much knowledge as possible. It's never in history where you could grab the world's library and bring it to you like that.
There's literally. Actually, shout out to Professor Malone's son, Trent. What up, Trent? He put me on this one website. It's called Udemy. And basically... Udemy.
Yeah, I've been there.
And you pay, they give you, like, college-level courses for $10. And you can literally learn, get certifications. So right now, like...
something.
So literally right now, I'm just fucking sitting there learning coding on like my spare time.
I believe the name comes from like academic, but instead it's Udemic. That's where they came up. But it's brilliant.
Yeah, no.
There's a site called Brilliant as well that kind of does the same thing. It teaches you concepts.
we have such a wealth of knowledge at our disposal right there.
Yeah, but the downside to it is that we're now able to touch people we usually wouldn't be able to touch, and we're able to affect somebody's behavior who we would never even met before in our lives.
And depending on what you believe, that might not be a good thing.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so if your belief system is, I don't know, one person is Muslim, the other person hella Catholic, right? Like Roman Catholic, and he says something about their God, that person says something about their God, and then now it's a constant war back and forth, and no one's listening.
I think the problem is that in a perfect world, we'd be able to say our beliefs, state our beliefs,
without missing somebody off.
And nobody would get offended.
Yeah.
You'd simply say, that's interesting that you believe that. Why do you believe that? Right? In a perfect world, that's what would happen.
Okay.
The problem is that some beliefs are so offensive to some people that they can't, that's a gap too wide, right? So you instantly just go and you go at someone's throat, you know? Then there's the phenomenon of confirmation bias. I believe the earth is flat, let's say.
Hey, me too.
So now every time I go online, even though someone has gone through the trouble of like really trying to break down how this makes no sense. Using multiple, not just one example, but using multiple examples. I firmly believe, and even worse so, maybe I've tied my identity to that. As you said before, my social media presence, I've got a whole page about how the earth is flat.
Flat Earth Kelvin.
So now for me to say, oh, wait a second, that makes sense. Thank you, Matt. You've changed my mind. Is to say
it's much worse
I was an idiot.
Exactly.
Even though you weren't. You just believed something that was false.
You could be losing some type of
sponsorship
because you had a change of mind. Dude.
Actually, I want to talk about, now you bring that up, you can look at someone like Kyrie Irving, the point guard for Boston Celtics. Shout out to New Jersey. He's a Jersey boy. He went on, I forget, was it a podcast or something? But he pretty much said he's a flat earther.
I heard about this.
And
I think
you are because at that point you have millions of kids, and again, not the most bright, not the most well-spoken adults looking up to you, and now they're like, "What? Kyrie's a flat earther? Let me look it up." And then you get caught in the down the rabbit hole.
Son, that's what I was thinking about. He's a flat earther too. Hickson's son.
Yeah. Cron.
Yeah, Cron Gracie.
He's a flat earther.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think so. Yeah. He was on Eddie Bravo's show talking about that.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you're someone of influence, like, just please be careful with what you post.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because now you got these little
we
kids.
keep bringing this example up, but it really does kind of hit the point here because for how long have we all basically known and agreed there's no way the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden social media blows up.
Yeah.
And now there's actually been, if you look at like on a graph,
yeah.
there's a tick, there's an upsurge.
Yep.
Of people
Of flat
believing
earthers.
that. There's no way that would have happened if it wasn't for social media. There's no way.
There's no way.
So you're right. It can be dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's this whole like Pandora's box phenomenon where like that's it. We can't put it back.
What makes me
We're here.
nervous
That's
We're here.
it.
This is it.
what makes me nervous is that we do have trolls, right? And we do have people like who do things like on Reddit or whatever, who makes up these preposterous ass ideas just to play with people.
Yeah.
And then people actually start following it. And so like, what freaks me out is that we're gonna get to a point where we're going to stop being innovative because we're gonna have to relearn everything that we knew before.
Also, be smart. Fact check. Fucking fact check. You know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna believe something without really doing research on it?
Here's another thing. All right. So now this is how they did I just see a flash? I'm tripping. I thought I was
Are they filming a porno in the other room?
I thought it was a flash happening. I was going to be like, all right, guys, I'm having a seizure. All right.
Wait, what? I heard you, man. I'm sorry.
No.
We good.
But what? Yeah. So we're gonna have to relearn everything. What was I saying? Then you tossed me off with
Seizures, flat Earth, relearning.
You're talking about that we're going to have to relearn everything because we're wasting time, you know.
Fucking liking
trolling each other.
Yeah, so people start trolling, and then they make up these preposterous ass ideas. People start following those preposterous ass ideas, and so what's gonna happen next?
That's how cults begin. If we're really,
You think cults are gonna be starting on social media?
yeah,
They already are.
They're already there. They're already there.
That's all, of course.
They
That's
are
already a
already
thing.
there, buddy.
Yeah, that's already.
So
a thing.
just the thought of flat Earth could be a cult.
Absolutely.
If you're depends on what you're going by. Like, what's the definition of a cult? If you're going by the definition in the Oxford Dictionary, then you know it falls just shy of being a cult. Just shy, right?
Well, yeah, because mostly cults are like some guy trying to fuck everybody's wife.
Pretty much.
Like CrossFitters.
Wow. You know, that's actually not inaccurate. That's not inaccurate.
CrossFitters and vegans. Guess what?
Trying to
fuck everybody's
Pretty much.
If I've offended any CrossFitters and any vegans
or vegans,
Don't care.
I apologize for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but it's something weird when you're like, again, the identity thing. You got to put what you believe in into your name.
Yeah.
Vegan Mike. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
like why? I don't care if you vegan. I don't care what you eat. Though, wait, you're alive. Cool. Why I gotta care about what you eat?
I just keep coming back to this thing that like if we could live a life where everyone understands that that's what Bob believes now.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what Joe believes today.
Now.
But that is not who Joe is.
Yeah.
That's just what Joe believes.
But Joe teaches. Joe has kids, and Joe going to pass those teachers down to his kids.
and that's the danger
His
of
kids
that.
are going to pass those teachers down. You got
And that's the
Yeah,
danger.
you don't know Joe kids becomes teachers, and they start to, that it becomes.
But that's
it becomes a big shit.
that's the whole of human history, unfortunately. I mean, look, we've been running this experiment for thousands of years at this point, right? But nobody wants to admit it. You hear talk of it, and you can hear these conversations happening. But we've been running the experiment of what's a better culture to have, right? A fully all-out, balls-to-the-wall competitive culture, or a collaborative, cooperative culture, right? What's better?
Yeah.
Well, again, depending on who you ask and depending on the specific example, you might say, well, because of my competitive nature or my ability to compete in this arena, I was able to succeed and my family's doing well, et cetera, right? So that's one microcosm.
Yeah.
But then you look at the entire society and you look at what competition does, right?
Yeah.
You'd be pretty hard pressed to convince me at this point that it's not mostly detrimental.
Yeah.
But we still pretend, and on average, you ask the average person, they're like, I don't really see anything wrong as long as it's healthy and it's not unfair, blah, 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 blah.
When you're saying competition, what do you mean by competition?
I mean competition, period. Competing in general. Now, here's the problem with that. Competition, to some extent, is sort of part of nature.
Yeah.
It's like part of living, part of being alive.
I mean,
It's in your...
Yeah.
Think about it. We, as primal as it gets, right? You look at gorillas. They will beat the piss out of each other for the love of one female gorilla.
Right.
Like, it's in our DNA that we want to compete. We want to be better.
Or resources.
Yeah.
There's one apple. We're starving. We could either split the apple, right? 3 ways, or we could kill each other for the
Don't be
apple.
puffing your
But
goddamn
don't you-
chest
but
out
don't-
like that, Matt.
Wasn't like that. I was talking about. But when you believe that competition creates creativity and innovation and all that stuff, if there's no competition, then people this is the belief that most people will be lazy. Right. I kind of believe in a little bit.
And this is how capitalism begins.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
let's call it what it is.
Yeah, most people will be lazy, and if they're not earning their way, why should I help them or give them anything?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's the very reason why I brought it up, because we were talking about how beliefs and what you teach your children, etc. So that's the problem with a lot of these ideas in general, but specifically with competition, is that it's so easy to feel that way. I wake up sometimes and I feel that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, it's very difficult to deny that it's a part of life to an extent. You and I walk into a club. If the girl happens to like darker skinned dudes, I'm fucked.
Facts.
That's a competition. Whether I accept it or you accept it or she accepts it, we competed and we didn't even realize it.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Right.
But here's the thing. When you build an entire society and a culture around that, right? Eventually you get to the point where we're crafty. That's like the definitive characteristic of human beings. We're very crafty. We're very clever. So you're sitting there thinking, okay, I made $1 million and that's cool, but I'd prefer to have 10 million. But I can't make 10 million because I've reached the ceiling of whatever it is I'm competing in. Whatever I've dominated, that's it. I can't go past that ceiling. But you're clever. So now you come up with a way to have the government subsidize whatever it is you're doing. Now, for some reason, I, out of my money, am paying Uncle Sam to pay you for something I have no interest in paying for, and in fact believe is detrimental, right? Like, we subsidize so many things. Again, look this up, the information's out there. But we subsidize so many things as a government that we really shouldn't. And it's like, why are we doing that? Why are we, for example, corn, right? Everybody knows this. Corn. We subsidize the hell out of corn, right? To the point where, like, some ridiculous number, percentage-wise, of our land in the United States is used for corn. But it's not because corn is this amazing thing. Eat corn and your dick gets bigger. I feel if it was like that, we'd all be on corn, right?
I have corn right here.
We'd be having corn right now. It isn't that.
No way, baby.
It's not that. It's that the farmer is pressed with a decision. I could make this guaranteed money from subsidized corn, or I could risk it and try to grow something, maybe will or won't sell, right? So we're competing in that sense, and we don't realize it, or most of us don't want to admit it. And that is what gets taught. That's what gets kind of put out there in the ether, so to speak. And then you grow up, I grow up, we teach that to our kids directly or indirectly, right? My point is this. We can't get completely rid of competition because it's just a part of nature. It's to some extent. But what I would like to see is a place where we could sort of say, look, we all are using smartphones and we all agree that a better smartphone would be better, right?
Yes.
Rather than Samsung, Apple, whatever company competing, right?
No.
Why don't we get together, our best engineers, and say, look, some of us are going to need rugged cell phones because we're out mountaineering, right? But not everyone needs that.
Yeah.
Some of us are going to need this and that. So how many types of cell phones do we need? And then we come up with a number. We say we need 15 different types of cell phones.
But that doesn't entice competition.
Exactly. That, again, back
competition.
to that.
We need competition because if I'm not competing against you and you're not competing against me knowingly, it's not even not knowing. Not when we're at the level where you said with the example.
No one realizes
no one realizes we're competing.
Also, not to take this to a political spin. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Take it.
But that's what socialism is. You know what I mean? Like, all right, it's a general. This is good for you. This is good for you.
But is it?
What's good? Fucking look at Cuba, bro. It didn't work.
But is it? But why didn't it?
Well, people always look at Cuba
I'm not making an argument for
But why
socialism or communism, by the way. I'm just asking the question, legitimately. Why didn't it work? Because if you're going to say that socialism didn't work in Cuba because socialism doesn't work, is to eliminate the entire influence that the United States embargo had on that system.
No, but think about it. Just on a basic example, right? You're a doctor. I'm a cab driver. If I know you being a doctor, you're going to get paid almost exactly the same as me as a cab driver, why the fuck would you want to be a doctor? When you could just...
But this is crazy. I understand. We're just having a conversation, but let me put it out there.
No.
What if we didn't have to get paid?
What?
Wait. Oh, sir.
Oh, my bank account hurt.
Crazy, right?
Sir,
My
I'm sorry.
bank account just hurt.
But it,
Sir, you're just hitting a whole new level that I'm not ready to
imagine, but seriously, imagine if you were disciplined enough to understand, I don't need a golden toilet, right? I don't need my toilet seat at home to be made of pure 24-karat gold,
And
right?
I thought about it just now, and now I want one.
Now you won't, right? But imagine if you didn't need that, and you were
want a
mature enough
golden
to know
bidet.
that that's ridiculous. I don't need that, right? Or imagine if you were mature enough to know, wait a second, I'm one man. Perhaps I have a family of 3, so it's 4 of us total.
Yeah.
I don't need a 27-room mansion. Imagine if you were mature enough to understand.
I also think, again, going back to your point of competition, like we're always gonna want more. Like it's just human nature.
nature.
But everyone says that. But there are people that are out there that are very wealthy. They're very well off. Their bank account is far better off than any of ours, and yet they don't drive a Maserati.
But okay,
and they don't have 27
but don't
bitches.
they have the ability? Those people. Through their actions,
They have
through
the
competition.
option of a Maserati in 27.
But through their actions of competition, got themselves to a point that they no longer care about competition.
Exactly.
So they no longer have. They don't have to prove.
They don't have that drive
to drive
anymore.
the Maserati, but they have a bank account showing that they could drive a Maserati.
Exactly.
Right. So through their actions, they got to a point where they could be like, "Oh yeah, well, I don't need to get a fucking Maserati.
Fuck it, let me drive this Mazda Miata.
Okay, but then that creates a situation where there are going to be certain individuals. And by the way, with what you just said. That's a fact. I agree. There's no disagreeing with it.
Yeah.
But just like there are people like that, there are people who are the opposite end of the spectrum, and they run for president, Donald Trump. They win, right? Meanwhile, this guy's not actually a successful businessman. He is,
But he's still
but he's
competitive.
not,
Nah,
right?
exactly.
He's
He's
failed.
failed-
He's not.
he's failed more
He's
than
failed
he's,
many times.
yeah.
But what did he do? He gamed the system.
Yeah.
But
now
now he's a competitor.
But that's the thing. So why is all competition not okay then? Here's the thing. Let's take
Which competition not okay?
I like to go to extremes because they really make the point, and then we're done,
Let's
right?
go there.
So we're competing, whatever we're competing. Just it doesn't even matter. Pick a thing and we're competing in it.
Yeah.
What is the fastest way for me to win that competition?
Cheat.
Take both of us out.
Kill you.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Fine, cheat.
That's you can call me cheating. Call it whatever you want. But if I kill my competitors, I have no competitors.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want this is a hypothetical, but if you want the quickest way to be able to sleep with every woman potentially on the world, come up with a virus that kills all men except you. Have that virus, be able to do that through genetics, right?
There's doctors like that.
But you see what I'm saying?
Fuck.
Now,
Yeah,
before
but
I even
I'll tell you about
finish
that
that
first.
thought fully, we all agree that's crazy.
Yes.
But if you take competition to that extreme, and we're almost at the cusp of that, by the way, make no mistakes about it. Have you heard about CRISPR?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We brought up Christmas so many times.
you can be some Joe, Dick, Tom, Harry dude, and you could just say, you know what? I'm gonna drop everything else in my life. I got 50 grand in the bank. All my shit's paid. I could live off that 50 grand for the next however many years. I live in some state where cost of life is cheap.
Cost of living is cheap.
So I'm gonna dedicate the next 5 or 10 years of my life to coming up with this actual virus because I'm crazy.
Because he's psycho.
Because I'm crazy.
Yeah,
right?
you can afford it.
What is stopping that guy?
Well,
At this point, really not
it's
much.
kind of like the minor version where I was just saying there was a few doctors that got arrested a few years ago or whatever. When women were trying to get pregnant and it was implanting their own seeds.
Yeah.
into
I
them.
did not know that.
Yeah,
But I'm not-
there was like at least
not
3
really that
cases.
surprised,
In the words of Eddie Bravo, look it up, bro.
Look
Look
it up,
it up,
bro.
bro.
They was planting their own seeds into
Wow.
these women who was trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Families and everything, trying to keep their genetic line moving.
Wow.
Exactly.
So on a minor, that's another level of trying to kill off all the men and keeping yourself alive forever.
It's an example
You're
of
keeping
what
your
I was saying,
bloodline,
but
yeah.
But the thing is, now, to really drive it home, that's you and your wife. That's you and your girl. And you find out that this son of a bitch did that.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, some are going to argue that, oh, that only happened because that guy's just crazy. Or that guy's psycho. Or that. Okay, but how many examples do we see of that daily?
Yeah.
Dude, I shut myself off sometimes because I see nothing but examples of that.
Yeah.
All over the place where you're like, wow, why did you do that? Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or such and such school, another guy goes in there, shoots up the school. Why did you do that? Right? And again, if you're going to just demonize and say, oh, because he's crazy and you should throw him in jail, okay, but after 15 examples of that, you got to start asking yourself the hard question.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's another reason why this is happening. Maybe we need to look at that reason. And
Think about it, was it last year? Last year alone, how many school shootings?
Yeah,
were
it's
there? Or how many
ridiculous.
shootings in general were
I think it was
there?
like 180 or something
Yeah.
like that.
And we're pivoting off, but that's fine. Let's
Like,
go
they-
with that.
Yeah.
And yet somehow we still have the conversation every time that it happens.
Gun control.
Should we gun control? You're not understanding. I don't need a gun. If I don't have a gun and I don't even know or want to make a gun, I don't need a gun.
Yeah.
I could just go in there with a freaking sword, ninja style.
Yeah.
Fool one, fool two, and just kill 15 people.
But you're not wrong. It's someone who's really trained and they went nuts and they decided to go inside of school
and they could do that.
They could get it popping.
Or forget guns and knives and that type of weapon. What if I'm a serious person?
Let's say you're batshit
Seriously
crazy. Exactly.
Yes, and I'm going to kill everybody in that school.
You put poison in the water.
You know what I mean? Poison in the water, everyone's murdered.
It's like give people ideas.
So oh, sorry, you're right. Erase that. Hypothetically, but let's erase that from memory. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, of course.
And yet we're still trying to have this conversation in political discourse, as though that's the anomaly, crazy guy. That's the one-off.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a mental health problem, and only now, because of like Kanye, I think he did a thing with one of the radio guys. I forget who it was.
Sway.
Was it? No.
But what are you talking about?
Sway in the morning. You ain't got that as a Sway.
No.
One of the one of the current morning show guys from like
Charlamagne the God, maybe.
I think it was Charlamagne that did it with him. Yeah, and they did a thing where they were talking about mental health or whatever. I actually did not see or listen to that, but the point is, it happened, and it's only happening now.
Yeah.
This is something that should have happened 15 years ago.
Probably longer than that.
Because again, we pretend, and sometimes we even make the mistake of trying to tell people like, man, stop being a bitch, just toughen up.
Yeah.
You don't know why that person's in that state of mind.
It's true, but that
mentality
mentality right there, saying to call something, that's because you had to be raised in areas where you had to harden up. And mental health is the last thing you need to be worried about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's situational.
And unfortunately,
really
it should be the first. Yeah. Because how many hood shootings could have been avoided? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Probably all of them, honestly. Just to some extent, probably all of them. But yet, that's a fleeting thought. And why is it, to now tie it back to the thing before? Because, my man, I ain't worried about that shit. I ain't worried about Tyrone's mentality.
Yep.
I'm worried about the shmoney. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And if I got to sell crack to get it, fuck that. I'm selling crack.
And I'm going to sell it to Tyrone.
Because it's competition. Because it's competition.
And I'm going to sell it to Tyrone.
You know?
Yep.
And in my sphere, that's what I have for competition.
If people know the drug game, you know that.
To take it to another extreme, and just get your point of view. So what would be, in your perspective, I guess, the utopian, situation? What would be?
Well, I want.
Would you find a balance between competition and?
I want to just put it out that the things. So there's nothing written in stone, right? Mm-hmm. But the things that for now we can't eliminate competitive-wise, we have to first educate ourselves on what they are and accept them for that fact. I love the example of males competing for females, right? Or females competing for males, right? Why is it that most
Gender
women
equality, baby.
dress up and lipstick? Why? Because they're trying to accentuate certain aspects of their. In fact, Jordan Peterson talked about this a lot too, right? How in the workplace, should it be, should it not be allowed, right? And he caught some flack for that too. But my thing is that going away? Hell no. And factually speaking, I don't want to be the weak guy, bad posture, bad breath, face all messed up. I don't want to be that guy because I'm not dumb. I understand that if I've got a girlfriend and I want to keep her, she's going to want to see me looking decent.
Exactly.
Right?
The time people stop caring is when they no longer have that testosterone, that estrogen running through that body. That's the only time where you see the guy like, whatever, man. Yeah, well, I don't give a fuck about women.
You know what?
No, they don't got that. But when that testosterone is rampant, you put on your Sunday's best. Mm-hmm. You get it?
You put on your $5 Good Vibes t-shirt.
Good Vibe t-shirt
Damn
for
straight.
$5.
As it should be.
As it should
so
be.
my thing is, let's not bother with that because that's here to stay for. As far as I can tell, that's here to stay for a while.
As long as we're the monkey men.
But here's the thing, right? No. Do we have to compete to death blows and everything else? There are so many cars that are just bad cars. Bad cars. They're just shitty cars. And yet, they take the materials to build, right? They still take metal or some composite.
They still make them.
Wiring, they have some amount of gold and other precious minerals and metals, right?
Yeah.
So, do we need a shitty car? The argument is, free market capitalist thinking dictates that the market will tell us whether that product has customers willing to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not entirely true. Because if you can't afford anything but a shitty Miata or whatever from 1992, right? That's all that you can afford. So it's a shitty car that's going to give you a lot of trouble, probably going to leave you stranded a couple times. You might lose your job because of it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We all understand these situations, right? But yet this person has no other option. So now my thing is to the guy that says, well, then he should just get a better job or educate himself. Okay, fine.
Great. How do we get there?
How do we get there? Because now, if you're just going to put it on that person and say, oh, that's his fault for not educating himself. Is it though? Maybe he was born in a situation where he had no other option.
Yeah, right.
And now you're going to give me an example of like, well, such and such made it from the hood and he's fine. Dude, 7.6, I think last time, billion that I checked on the planet. 7.6 billion people.
Yeah.
Are you seriously going to give me the argument
that
all 7.6 billion of us could be driving around, just chilling under a capitalist structure? Of course not.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. So we either need. Look, I'm not making an argument pro or con in any direction. I just want to know. I just want to know what game are we playing. Because I just want to know what the game is.
Yeah.
If the game is no rules, as we say in Santo Domingo, sálvese quien pueda, right?
Yeah.
Save yourself if you
whoever
can, right?
save,
Whoever can save yourself, save yourself. If the game we're playing is that, I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that, right?
But you want to know what we're playing.
But let's not lie about the game.
Yeah. Right.
Because you don't like being lied to. You don't like, nobody really likes being lied, right? How would you feel if you're in a club, hola papi, you get home, dude has a dick. Right? You were lied to.
How the fuck did I know you were going to get
Of course, because every man thinks about that. Tell me what grown-ass man hasn't been in the club and been like,
yo, listen.
Come here.
You can't be like that no more.
Stand, man.
So now when that girl that comes home with
just
a
have to
dick,
accept it?
you got to be like, I guess we could cuddle? Because it be damn not to, because if you don't, you're a trans hater. You're a hater. You're a hater.
How about you just
Transphobic.
politely excuse yourself from the situation?
Or what if she came to your house?
Politely excusing myself.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Sir, and Zerzy. Listen, I'm not into ding-a-lings.
My bad. My wife is coming home. Man.
I just remember I'm married.
Look at
This guy be like, I just remember I'm married.
Look at the time. My mom's flying in from Colombia.
I gotta actually go to the airport and pick
Yeah,
my mom up.
yo.
So sorry.
I thought I had a little bit more time. Yo, my bad.
At
yo.
4 in the morning?
But you can do me here. I'll put you on. Call my man Matt up. He'll take care of you.
Wow. Who called me? Who told you to call me?
Knocking on the door 5 in the morning. What?
Tell Chris. No, I'm not. No. I will not. What? You want me to do? You do what with your tongue? Hold on. What?
There you go. Everybody wins.
Nah, but dude.
I get out of the situation. Matt gets, whatever happened there.
I've asked my cousin this same question. I asked him this years ago. We had this discussion in depth. I'm going to ask you guys this. So we're all slowly starting to understand that there almost seems to be no limit to what is going to be possible, given a long enough time period, right?
Yes.
So 100 years ago, impossible.
Yeah.
Now, $20 you can find one on eBay or something, right? Okay. Let's hypothetically say that in 20 years, 50 years, whatever time frame you want to put, right? That it is now actually possible to take your DNA, grow you a new body that is female. It's all you in terms of all the essential DNA markers, right? Yeah. But it's a sexy female version of you, right? Okay. Now, further, let's say that we can take you, your mind, your experiences, boop, pop it into that body, and now you are female Chris. You're Christina now.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Oh, Christina.
So now here's my question.
Boring ass name.
Don't be getting any fucking ideas, man.
You still ain't got the H in your name because you're a boring.
You know what? Don't be getting any ideas, you sick fuck. I already saw the way you were thinking about it. You sick fuck you.
Do you think if Chris was a woman, he'd be a bottom or top?
He'd definitely be top.
You think he'd be a top?
Definitely a top. He's still a power thruster.
I can see you as a top.
You ever heard that? Sorry to cut off real quick. You ever heard of that pose, what they call the Amazon position?
I think so, yeah.
When the woman is got the guy legging it. That gotta be the most demasculating move I ever seen in my life. I'm sorry I cut off there, because that'd be Chris. Definitely Chris.
Definitely. Well, we're going there anyway. So
this is getting dark.
So the question is, at that point, if Chris didn't say anything, is he lying to you? Right?
Yeah.
It's a woman. He is a woman now, right? Now he's in the club. So is he lying?
How would you put that? You'd be like, I'm sorry.
I used to be a man.
I used to be a man.
In my past life?
In my past life. Yeah, you had to say my past life.
In my past life, right?
Wow, that'd be, you can actually remember your past life.
Yeah.
But I still don't fuck with you, Jesse. Okay? I remember what you did when I was Mike. All right? Don't fuck with me. I slapped shit you. That'd be funny.
Do you see the problem that causes, though? It's
We're going there, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not even if that's possible. It eventually will be. Yeah. Some way, somehow, we're going to get to that place.
When we're going to get to the place where the person starts switching back and forth. Oh, man. You gonna wake up one day, because there's already people like that mentally, right? They'd be like, 1 minute, they're like, did you ever see that guy? Most insane shit I ever seen. There was a dude, was it a guy from London? No, I don't know if he had multiple personality. He was always a girl. Like, he played, like, some reason he turned himself into a girl, a 10-year-old little girl, but he would go back and forth. Like, we'd be in the middle of a conversation and he'd turn to Christina.
So personality-wise.
Yeah. And then also, but he...
Personality did so.
But I think he knew what he was doing.
Okay.
Like
he knew how to turn it on and off?
Like, he knew how to turn it on and off. But he just got so used to doing it. He'll just do it. He'll do it around his family, everything. He just become... he'll be in the middle of conversation. Yeah. Now I'm Chris. And I'm about... And he'll just... His voice would just switch. It's...
I gotta say,
kind of like that
assuming that guy's not acting and faking it, right? Then that speaks more to like a mental thing, right?
So what's gonna happen when we're able to start switching?
Right, but if we get to that point, it's gonna be like really anything else. We're just gonna have to learn to adapt.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way around it. You really can't live in a modern society.
Playing with the Bravio signs?
You can't live in a modern society without accepting what comes with that modern society. Yeah. And these days, that's social media. These days, that's electric cars. Yeah. These days, it's don't assume my gender to some people, right? Exactly. These are things that come with society. Right. And so this is all an experiment that we're kind of just going along together, right? On this ride, learning together. I just wish that we would do more learning together rather than finger pointing and wagging. Yeah. But there are some hard questions that we're going to have to deal with. Exactly. And again, to me, that's one of the hardest ones, because to most people, you ask them that, they're going to just give you a straight black or white answer. They're going to say, "Hell no, I don't fuck with dudes." And if a dude had an operation, right, sex change, and now he is a she, that still is not okay with me, right? But you might only be thinking that because you still understand that everything else about this person is still really a man. Yeah. Even if they took all the hormones and they look female, right? Yeah. For most men, it would still not be okay to be lied to, led to believe that that's an actual female when in fact it's a transvestite. Right. But now if it's an actual female that just happened to be a man
in a
past life,
what happens? Like, she can still reproduce, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, she's a female.
It's an actual female.
It's like your brain gets plugged into a female. That's all it is.
Yeah. For whatever, let's say you just get bored of it. I've lived a great male life and now I'm bored. Right? Yeah. I just want to be a chick now. Right? So imagine, what do you do? Then you got people that are hermaphrodites, which is that they've got both chromosomes or whatever, right?
Some of them have both genitals.
You know who's the most famous of that is an actress who played with Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie True Lies. If anybody knows that. Yeah, but she's the one that I think of because she's a famous actress that is a hermaphrodite.
I'm trying to think.
But she was, I believe it was True Lies was the name of the movie. Well, anyway, she's a hermaphrodite, right? But she looks female, right? In her, best days, she was pretty attractive,
Which
right?
one? We got
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, how much?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I just want everybody to know for the record, I did not say that. I don't know if she's really a hermaphrodite. And if you do have stuff that says that she is, please send it to me.
I'm pretty sure that's public knowledge.
Wow, full circle?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's public knowledge.
Just saw Halloween last night.
Yeah. Look at that.
Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm not.
But imagine that you...
Can somebody fact check that?
That's pretty dope, though.
Look for it, yeah. So imagine you are in that situation with your version of a Jamie Lee Curtis. She doesn't know. You don't know. You guys have been trying to have kids for 5 years now. Right? Mm-hmm. At one point, you're going to say, man, we got to go see a doctor, right?
Yeah.
What's going on here? You go to the doctor. They check you out. Mr. Matt, you're fine. Miss such and such, we'll have to have a conversation with you. and then it comes out that you're married. Now, would that change your feelings?
I'm gonna like, look, you got the right name. Your name is Jamie. It's Uni. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we already been doing this. We already been doing this for this long. I mean, might as well go adopt now, I guess. Yeah.
Right?
It depends if you're married. Like if you're married,
yeah. Listen, you really love the person.
That's circumstantial.
Yeah. If you really love the person,
like everything about this person is perfect for you.
Yeah.
She gets you. She puts up with your shit. Yeah, she checks you when she needs to check you. She's perfect.
But as long as there was no lying. If there was
no lying. She didn't know.
She didn't know.
Yeah,
then that's what I'm saying. That's situational. They had no idea.
But you see how that thought experiment forces you to really, what do you
actually
do?
And be like,
what do you exactly?
I mean, you could take it even further. I try not to go there, but imagine it's your current spouse or whatever. Imagine, right? Just imagine. So would that change your feelings for them? Personally, it wouldn't for me.
No.
Right? I wouldn't dump someone because of that.
No.
On the other
got
hand,
more jokes.
On the other hand,
definitely got more
they
jokes.
might not want to be with you. I think at the roast.
I guess we're gonna have to be ordering more deodorant now.
I'm like, I'm
more Old Spice.
My wife already knows. She can be like, you're not gonna let this go. Never. Never gonna let this go. Yeah. It's hilarious. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Come on, dude. I'm definitely gonna send out. I want you guys to come back whenever you got time again. Before we wrap any of this up.
Cool.
Hold on. There's nothing I really wanted to talk about. Whatever. That's a weird conversation.
You still sponsored by Dick Pills, bro?
Still sponsored by them EDs. But definitely, guys. I wanted to bring them on because people seen that Kelvin has a lot of information in his brain.
See, you did it too.
So we still getting used to the mics.
Yeah, I like these mics, by the way.
Shout out to
These
Cris for the last minute sub. Because
I'll take it. Better than Jack.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but
you've had 4 people on before.
Sorry.
You've had 4 people on before.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We have 4.
Better than Jack.
Oh, Cris,
Jack, you watching?
If Jack watching, Cris trying to take your spot. Cris is trying to take your spot.
Just let you know.
And hey, might have a conversation with him after this. All right, but guys, yes, still sponsored by X's. I forgot to bring some in because always late.
Facts.
And what else? Oh, check us out. The Real Shit Talkers on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We got a Facebook now. We just don't fuck with it, really. I just put it up there because
anybody?
Because they won't allow me to do the promotion.
That's how I use my family. Like how I talk to my family and shit.
I don't even fuck with Twitter.
Neither do I.
Yeah, we have a Twitter. I just don't.
I'm somewhat active on Twitter.
I kind of need somebody else to do that shit. But I'm already in talks about that.
No.
So I ain't got the time anymore. Shout out to everybody who's coming through, to all of our Rising Sun people, because they're definitely Rising Sun. Shout out to everyone's coming to that cardio kickboxing. That's in New Jersey. If you're ever out there, come check out 193A Main Street. Richfield Park, New Jersey. So that allows you come see me and I do the cardio kickboxing, also do my personal training. And that's it, yo. TRST on all audio platforms. Shout out to Bravey Studios. We out this motherfucker.
Bravery.
Can't even talk.